Hello and welcome back to Panama for Real. Now, in our series of programs with Dr. Pablo Noel talking about the sicknesses that you might have heard about here in Panama and viruses, etc. There's one thing that I do see people asking about is yellow fever. Welcome back, Dr. Pablo. Nice to see you again.
As well.
Now, yellow fever. There was yellow fever here when they were building the canal, which is a long time ago.
It has our history, right? It has the history in Panama. It was a problem for the French, who started building the canals first. All the workers that they brought, and they were having this condition that they were so debilitating that they couldn't work well, and some of them were actually dying from it. After that, the science came to Panama. They studied the condition, they studied the disease, and they brought the cure. And since then, yellow fever. Since then, I mean, we're talking more than 100 years. Panama it's not a problem for yellow fever.
Okay, but some people get confused, don't they? Because I had a friend who tried to come and visit us, and he was actually in Brazil on business.
Right.
And because he wasn't vaccinated for yellow fever, he wasn't allowed on the plane in Brazil.
Right. So that's probably because he's coming from a country that is endemic on yellow fever, and Panama, it's regulatory to have a vaccination for yellow fever if you're coming from Brazil or other countries of the Amazonas. But it's curious to know that some countries will ask people that live in Panama or have been traveling for Panama, stay in Panama for a few weeks, they will ask for yellow fever vaccination if you're coming from Panama. Not a lot of countries that I know of. In my case, Australia was one of the countries that asked for yellow fever vaccination if you're coming from Panama.
Yeah, that's the only time I've heard of that happening.
Yeah, actually, when I got there, they didn't ask for it at the customs and the airport, but I did have it with me.
You were told you had to have it before you got on the plane.
That's what they told me in the embassy. But when I got there, they didn't ask for it. But you never know when they do ask for it.
Yeah.
So if you do need it, we have a vaccination program in Panama from the government that is very good. It's very complete and very easy to access to. You actually can go to any health establishment from the Ministry of Health and from the government, and you will have most of the vaccines free. The yellow fever, last time I checked, the cost for yellow fever full vaccination was $100.
Okay, it's actually probably, if you're going from, which is something I used to do, go from here to places like Brazil and then come back again, it's probably a good idea to get vaccinated before you go anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you run the risk of catching it while you're there, and then you're going to have it for coming back anyway. So so probably a good idea to get vaccinated if you're going to be traveling within Latin America, just in case, and also check.
Well, I don't know if sometimes when people come from England, I don't know if they or Europe or North America, Canada, I don't know if in these countries they will have the vaccine as freely or accessible as we have it here. I don't know. If you don't find it, right? If you don't find it accessible as you need it before you come to Panama, come anyways, and you sure we're gonna have it here because here is very easy to get, right? So that will be maybe an option if it's not that accessible where you are.
But it's not necessary for coming to Panama.
It's not necessary. It's not necessary. But if you're planning to go to Panama and then go to South America, or you just want to be totally safe, come here. Next day, you can get vaccinated right away.
Perfect. Dr. Pablo, thanks again. Always really useful and helpful. Thank you.
Bye.